Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cardboard Herald's Off the Table, your Monday morning tabletop gaming news, community, and questions in 10 minutes or less. As always, I'm your host, Jack, and we got so much to cover today, so let's get this show on the road. Our first news item is that Kickstarter game publisher Games Factory has announced that they are going bankrupt after the CEO has fled from the country. In a really kind of straightforward update to backers on their Solar City Kickstarter campaign, Games Factory just announced that they're kaput, they're gone, nada. No one is getting anything out of this, which really sucks for the backers. At least the rights to the game has reverted back to the designers, but this is a sad mess and unfortunately one of the possible realities of Kickstarter. Another sad mess is the comment section to this update, but that's kind of to be expected. Anyway, if true, I really hope that the employees of the company manage to land on their feet and that maybe the game will see the light of day in some other means. And maybe, hopefully, if we really cross our fingers, there might be some sort of make good for the backers, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that. Then Disney has scrapped their adaptation of the graphic novel and popular RPG Mouseguard just 2 weeks before beginning production. Holy smokes, I didn't even know that there was a Mouseguard movie in the works at all. I mean, I heard about the DreamWorks announcement that they picked up Mice and Mystics, which seemed kind of bananas on its own. So apparently Paw and Claw Fantasy is super hot right now. I mean, Netflix, the time to strike is now. Get your team that did She-Ra, get them in charge of a Root adaptation. It would be amazing. And then Mensa announced their 2018 Mensa Select award winners, being Architects of the West Kingdom, Gizmos, Gunkimono, Planet, and Victorian Masterminds. I'm still not really settled on how I feel about Mensa, but this is, on the other hand, a good way of getting some recognition to a mainstream audience of some games that are really niche games. I mean, Victorian Masterminds? I like the game, but I definitely didn't expect to see it come up on this list. Either way, congratulations to the winners. And then our last news item is that the Terraforming Mars Turmoil Kickstarter is up right now. This is the most recent expansion after a slew of expansions. Seems like it's $39 after shipping in the US. And it comes with double layer recess boards, so you don't have to worry about things sliding over your trays anymore. I mean, that's kind of a cool feature and a neat promo that's coming as part of this, but it's not going to be part of the actual expansion itself. I don't know. This expansion sounds neat, but on the other hand, I've been having some expansion fatigue with Terraforming Mars. I mean, I loved Prelude. Don't get me wrong. That was one of my favorite expansions of all time. But this seems like it adds more ancillary elements outside of the core experience of the game, whereas Prelude seemed to elevate the core experience of the game. And I already am having kind of some expansion fatigue, and so I'm going to have to do a wait and see on this one. Then bringing us over to announcements, Cool Mini or Not announced a Bloodborne board game and God of War card game. Apparently, if you want big burly bro battles, then Cool Mini or Not has you covered. I mean, I loved that God of War video game that just came out. That was really spectacular. I don't know quite how they're going to adapt that in a meaningful way into a card game, but as long as I get to just shout "boy" all the time, then yeah, I'm good to go. Z-Man has announced War with the Evil Power Master, the follow-up to the popular choose-your-own-adventure game House of Danger, which I'm always all about new and creative ways of playing solo and cooperative games. And then, in true Fantasy Flight Games fashion, just days before the release of Journeys in Middle-earth, they announced Hunt for the Ember Crown, a new campaign that'll be downloadable content, and Villains of Eriador, a little miniature expansion that'll have additional figures and a couple other bells and whistles to add to your games. And yeah, it is kind of wild that we have games that are announcing content before the game actually delivers. On the other hand, this isn't necessarily surprising, and in a way, for someone who really likes the game like me, This is a sign of commitment to the game that will be hopefully really well supported down the road. Also, apparently the campaign is going to take place in the Blue Mountains, which, as everyone knows, is where Thorn and his kin sought refuge after their exile from Erebor at the hands of Smog. So hopefully this expansion will have some hot dwarf action. So our community highlight for today is the upcoming Board Game Atlas Hackathon, BGA Hacks. Recently, I was foolishly asked to be a judge on this upcoming hackathon, and I say foolishly because 1, I have the software engineering experience of a stale piece of cheese, and 2, anyone giving me even a degree of authority doesn't realize how mad I can grow with power. But I suppose I do know board games, and I can speak to user experience, ingenuity, and innovation. So I asked Trent from Board Game Atlas to come on and tell you, and me, what to expect out of this upcoming hackathon. So tell us what's up with this thing, Trent.
Hey Jack, BGA Hacks is a 24-hour hackathon for developers to take any amount of data that we have on our database and make something cool. We've got over 25,000 games. You can access play logs, reviews, and other stuff for the users that are just helping make board gaming more fun. So some ways that I'm expecting, or like I feel like are cool ideas, is maybe a Chrome extension that when you go to buy a game, it'll show you the deals on other websites to make sure you're getting the best price possible. Or a way to link your owned list with other of your friends so that you can see the catalog of all the games you own and pick from there. Some ways I've seen the API used already is a Android app where you can log plays, write reviews, stuff like that, and a recommendation engine that uses your owned list and recommends games for you. That's recommend.games. If you put that into Google, it'll show up, and it's a very cool system. So I'm looking forward to any cool new ideas, and we'll have this big event where we're throwing out ideas. Even if you're not a developer, you can participate and see what everyone likes to make and make new suggestions. So if you have a sweet idea, you can participate too, and we'll have raffles, giveaways, and lots of fun board gaming stuff going on. So I'm just looking forward to cool things happening in the board gaming community. That's the event. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Trent, for coming on the show and giving us the what's what. If you are interested in BGA Hacks, it's taking place May 10th through 11th, and you can find all kinds of information, including how to participate, what prizes can be won, and just marvel at the esteemed judges in the link below. So as always, before I let you go, I want to ask you guys a question. I was thinking a lot about my own past and my history as I've been playing a lot of games that are like modern updates to some of the classics that I've loved for a long time. So how have your board game tastes evolved since you've been playing games? Like, what was the first game that you truly loved when you considered yourself a capital B, capital G board gamer? And where does that game rest in your list of favorite games now? And would you consider that a game that you would even invest your time into if you were just now being introduced to it for the first time? You know what I mean? Just reflect a little bit. We can't know where we are now without taking the time to look at where we've been. So how have your tastes evolved? So that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for everyone spreading the word about the show. It means a lot. You sharing, subscribing, liking, doing all that stuff means so much, and it helps elevate the show so we can have awesome guests and have more in-depth coverage on this channel in general. And if you are interested in being one of our community highlights and giving one of these little video segments, we'd love to have you. We love hearing from creative gamers, and I'm sure the audience would too. So just get in touch with us. You can find a contact link at cardboardherald.com. So with that said, thank you so much for watching Off the Table. I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald, and I'll talk to you next week. So our community highlight for today... If you enjoyed this video, we have all kinds of other reviews, interviews, and recommendations via writing, podcast, and video here on our channel and website cardboardherald.com. Our content is audience supported, so if you want to show your support, please visit our Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Cardboard Herald.